What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today. Belly bombs were back in LA, but things are a little bit different in 2023. Garrett Cole turned in one of his best starts of his career so far, and Pete Alonso, he's making some history with the pop. He's approaching Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth, and Mark McGwire status. Remember, guys, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, please save yourself 20 bucks off using code Fuzzy on SeatGeek. And also, we are so close to 450,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can get there before the weekends. Now, because I didn't post a recap yesterday, I'm probably going to do that every single Sunday. I just need one day a week to reset because these videos are so hard to make, 6 or 7 hours every single morning. I just need one little day off. But Miggy and Oscar Colas, they both had some walk-off victories on Saturday. Always fun to watch grown adults become kids again when they walk it off, and then they're just throwing things and water. Doesn't matter what it is, they're going crazy. Always love to watch that. Andrew McCutchen became Andrew McClutchen with a 2-run home run to secure a victory in the 10th inning over the Cardinals. By the way, he's hitting 300 with 2 home runs and 3 stolen bases. He has more walks than strikeouts. So he's not prime Andrew McCutchen, but he has been very good in his return to Pittsburgh. Bellinger, he robbed the Dodgers of a home run, and fans started booing him just to mess with him. They weren't actually serious. They do not hate Cody Bellinger because the Dodgers let him go. Bellinger did not leave on his own. The Angels angeled. By the way, these are all games from Saturday, not Sunday, so make sure you stick around for yesterday's games coming up. But the Angels, they in fact angeled, losing to the Red Sox after multiple catcher interference calls because, of course, they did. Hunter Brown is proving that the Astros, their management made the correct decision to let Justin Verlander go and allow Hunter Brown to eat some innings because in his first 10 career starts, he has a 1.38 ERA. And then finally, Rafael Devers and Pete Alonso, they're the first players in baseball to have 7 home runs, which both lead baseball, but one of those guys hit a home run yesterday, so they're now at 8. Now, before we talk about the Yankee game from Saturday where Domingo German was kind of caught cheating, but not really, and then someone got ejected. I don't know what exactly happened, but before we get into that, I just want to mention Fernando Tatis is now hitting over 500 with 7 home runs and 2 stolen bases in 33 at-bats in the minors. He comes back this week on 420. I believe that's on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. The Padres, they've been scuffling as of late. They could use Fernando Tatis Jr., and he looks locked in. Now time to talk about the title of today's video. So Yankees starting pitcher Domingo German was allowed to stay in even after he didn't follow the orders of the umpire. So essentially what happened is Domingo German, he walked off the field with extra rosin on his hand. The umpire the inning before said that he had to go and wash that off and that he couldn't come out with excess rosin. And apparently Domingo German did not wash his hands good enough to the point where the umpire was satisfied. The umpire said, you have to wash your hands. Can't have you coming back out here with your own substance. So Domingo German, he does not use the rosin bag on the actual pitching mound. He uses a rosin bag in the dugout himself. So he came back out there. Apparently he did not satisfy the umpire's requirement. There's the update on that situation. He wasn't cheating per se, but he should have been ejected according to the rules. Then he went out there and had his best start as a major leaguer. 11 strikeouts over nearly 7 shutout innings. Yeah, that was really weird. Even Yankees fans were like, what just happened? All right, so those were all of the games from Saturday. The Fast Cats with Fuzzy is officially over. Let's talk about Sunday's games. The Cardinals and the Pirates. Wilson Contreras is trying desperately to get on any sort of hot streak, so he'll take that infield single for an RBI. Miles Michaelis, he has not been great to begin the season or since he got that contract, but he wasn't bad in this one. He allowed 3 runs on the day after a mistake by the defense, so I think that was 2 earned runs. But lucky for Miles Michaelis, they have a World Baseball Classic legend. Lars Nootbaar became a superstar and a household name for a few weeks there. He's back and healthy. He launched a 3-run shot. This one stayed tied. We needed extras, and Pittsburgh actually grabbed the lead. I don't hear anyone talking about the runner on second rule anymore, so are we just used to it? Because for real, I'm not seeing it on my Twitter, people hating it or loving it. It's just baseball now. I think it's just part of the game. Nolan Gorman, he did it again. That RBI double ties it. He has a 121 OPS plus in his first 103 games, and then there's the walk-off. Tommy Edman, he wins it on Nolan Arenado's 32nd birthday. The Mets and the A's, Tommy Pham has a new lease on life. And by that, I mean he can finally see after corrective eye surgery. He has 2 home runs and a near 370 on base percentage to begin the season. Jose Butto or Budo, I'm sorry if I botched his last name. He was great for the Mets yesterday. 5 innings, 1 earned run on 83 pitches. I know it's the A's, but that's still really good for a guy that hasn't really gotten a lot of major league starts. Lindor cracked his 4th home run. He already has a 1 F4 on the season. He gave the Mets the lead, and Shea Langoliers stole it right back. He's going to be so good. He was one of the bigger pieces in the Matt Olson trade. played. He has 9 home runs and a near 110 OPS plus in his first 54 games, so the power is there. Just, the Mets have an actual incredible Hulk on their team, and his name is Pete Alonso. He has 8 home runs in 16 games, which means that he has a 13.13 at-bats per home run, which would rank him 5th all-time if he keeps this up, just behind Mark McGwire, Babe Ruth, Aaron Judge, and Barry Bonds. Those are some of the most prolific power hitters to ever exist. So that one ties it, and Brandon Nimmo turned into Superman in the bottom of the 9th inning. He saves it, and he sends it to extras. What a grab. Lindor's bases loaded walk was the most expected thing ever because the A's pitching staff is atrocious. David Robertson, he came in to grab his 4th save. He had a 10-pitch inning. That's pretty good. Matt Olson is simply refusing to stop hitting RBI extra base hits. Now, he did get some help from the right fielder. That was an awful attempt, and I would be angry if I'm Zach Greinke, but that's a 2-run triple. Again, no thanks to the right fielder. Ozzie Albies, that's his 3rd home run of the season. Listen, I know that people like to hate on Ozzie Albies. He's slightly overrated, or maybe even a lot of overrated, but he's so much fun to watch in my opinion. I'm not a Braves fan, so I don't have to watch every single at-bat where he's chasing at pitches in the other batter's box and just not taking walks, but he's good on the mic. He's a short king. Anyway, sorry for the random tangent. So we have the bullpen for Kyle Wright failing him, so he's not going to get the W in this one. Some dude named Tonkin blew it for Atlanta. Not to worry though. Vaughn Grissom, he's back in that lineup, and hopefully he's ready to fully take over the shortstop spot because, in my opinion, he is better than Orlando Arcia. His clutch RBI gives Minter the lead, and AJ now has 3 saves on the year. Atlanta, they are 12-4. They're top 10 in both team ERA as a pitching staff and team OPS as an offense. So yeah, they're going to be a problem all season long. The Angels at the Red Sox. This game was decided by 1 swing, and that swing was from the 38-year-old phenom Justin Turner, his first home run as a Boston Red Sox. Reed Detmers, he held Boston to just those 2 runs over nearly 6 innings, but the Warlock, Garrett Whitlock, was even nastier. If you're confused, yes, Garrett Whitlock was Boston's best relief pitcher over the last 2.5 seasons, but he's always had starter pedigree and starter DNA, so we know that he was stolen in the Rule 5 draft from the Yankees. He went 7 innings, 5 strikeouts. He had 1 earned run on 3 hits, so that's not too surprising considering he was nasty as a reliever. The Red Sox, they send the Halos to a 7-8 record, but I still think that the Angels can be good because they're top 8 in ERA. They are 22nd in batting average with runners in scoring position. So as the season progresses, hopefully they can get more clutch because that's going to be their bugaboo if they're not pitching well. The Cubs and the Dodgers. Drew Smyly is such a hit or miss pitcher. One day he's awful, the next day he's really good. This was a really good day. He held the Dodgers to 1 earned run on 4 base hits. Julio Urias, he was slicing and dicing, but he got into some trouble with an unearned run in the 5th inning and then back-to-back solo shots in the 6th inning. Wisdom has 6 home runs on the year. I did not know that, but considering he had 25 in 2022 and 28 in 2021, that power is absolutely legit. You want to know what else I hope is legit? Cody Bellinger's start to the season. He fooled us last year to begin the season, like a 915 OPS in the first month, something like that, but he backflipped against his former teammate Julio Urias. That lefty-lefty bomb gives him 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases, only 9 strikeouts and 53 at-bats. Again, he started last year on fire. I'm hoping that this sticks. All the pressure's off of him, and he can be a new player in Chicago. Betts, he tried to rally the troops in the 7th, but to no avail. Drew Smyly gets the W after Brad Boxberger shut it down in the 9th inning. Honestly, Bellinger leaving was best for both sides. He can go play without the insane pressure, and now James Outman can be a Rookie of the Year favorite in the National League. So to me, it was a win-win. The Guardians and the Nationals, one of the most heartbreaking losses. I'll just spoil it right now. As a Cleveland fan, this game tore me apart. So Cleveland, they won it, and then they lost it all within a span of like 3 minutes. Shane Bieber, he got cooked early on those RBI base hits from Candelario and Lane Thomas. There's the Candyman again, this time a home run. He's got 3 home runs and a 112 OPS plus, and we're not too far removed from a 137 OPS plus season in 2020, and he led baseball with 42 doubles back in 2021, or he led the American League, I should say. So there's still some gas left in the tank. Maybe he's going to be a trade deadline candidate. Cleveland, they did what Cleveland always does. They made the comeback. No one's surprised by that, but the Washington Nationals, they fought back yet again. Luis Garcia had himself a big series. That's a 2-run tater, and here's the backbreaker for Cleveland. So the runner got hosed at home to end the inning, but after a replay showed Mike Zunino's left pinky toe was blocking the plate, by definition, blocking was called, and the runner was allowed to score, which tied the game. Meneses, he grabbed the lead, and the Washington defense turned on all the cheat codes, the super speed cheat codes. Yeah, they made 2 amazing web gems to thwart any comeback from the Cleveland Guardians, and that second play was by a former Cleveland Guardian outfielder, Alex Call, so that had to feel pretty good. Yeah, Kyle Finnegan gets his 3rd save of the year as the Nationals win by 1 single run over the Guardians. That replay tore me up. Thank God, an easy game to recap. 2 men, 1 won this game for the Mariners, and we've talked about them both quite a bit this year. Obviously, not as much for Luis Castillo because he only gets to play once every 5 days, but this Kelenic kid is really doing it. All Castillo needed was 1 run, and Jared Kelenic gave it to him on the RBI single in the 6th inning. So Luis Castillo, he was shredding. 7 shutout innings, only 2 hits allowed, 9 strikeouts, and in the process, he lowers his season ERA to .73. That means he has 2 earned runs allowed in 25 innings. Kelenic not only came in huge offensively, but with the leather as well. He lays out and ensures that the Mariners keep a lead. They got it to Paul Sewald, and he put the Rockies in a blender. I mean, he went to Jamba Juice or something and ordered a Rocky special. I don't know. 3 up, 3 down, all via the strikeout. The Mariners, they're only 23rd in runs scored and OPS as an offense, but they're 5th in team ERA. Back-to-back 1-0 games. Yu Darvish, he had to have felt like a man alone on an island because his offense got bullied by Wade Miley. Like, I know the Padres offense is good on paper, but I guess don't tell that to Wade Miley. He had 8 strikeouts over 7 scoreless innings. There's something about the Brewers uniform that brings the best out of Wade Miley. He had a 2.6 ERA back in 2018 to save his career as a member of the Brewers. He would have been out of baseball if he didn't have that clutch season. But yeah, his masterclass ruined Yu Darvish's gem. I mean, it was a gem. 12 strikeouts over 7 innings. The Padres, they got close in the final inning. Devin Williams, he loaded the bases, almost got dinged by the pitch clock. There was 1 second left. The umpire was about to call it. Devin, he ended up getting all 3 outs on the strikeout as he got Trent Grisham looking right there. The Brewers, they're 11-5. What's their ceiling? Can they win the World Series? Let me know. The Rays were looking for some payback after having their win streak not only snapped, but turned into a 2-game losing streak by the Blue Jays. They punished Toronto's ace, Alek Manoah, after he allowed a bases-loaded walk to Wander Franco, and Josh Lowe ripped a 2-run single, and then an RBI double later on. That was in the 5th inning. He raised his batting average to .360. He has 8 extra base hits, 10 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases and 39 at-bats, and there's the dagger. Christian Bethancourt, he has been much better over the last few days. That 414-foot 3-run blast was his 3rd of the season, all 3 coming in this series, I believe. Or maybe he had 1 in the series prior. I don't know. He has 3 on the year. Shane McClanahan was Shane McClanahan. He's still my favorite right now to win Cy Young unless Garrett Cole has something to do with that. We'll talk about the Yankees game after this one. Shane is 4-0 on the season. He has a combined 2.42 ERA and an almost 11 strikeouts per 9 over his last 32 starts. He has been deadly. The Rays are still 14-2 on the season. Now they face off against the Reds, but don't count the Reds out. They have a sneaky good offense. It's just their pitching is the question mark. As much as I want Shane McClanahan to win the Cy Young because I chose him as my preseason prediction, it's going to be tough to beat Garrett Cole because now he's having fun. Like, ever since he became a father, he's been a completely different human. But do you guys remember the days when we would imagine people that we hated on baseballs we were about to hit? Yeah, Garrett Cole did that, but like as a pitcher, so maybe he imagined the catcher's mitt as someone he hated. You know what I'm trying to say. He got all the help he needed from IG-88 of Major League Baseball. If you guys don't watch Star Wars, that is a emotionless assassin droid in Star Wars. DJ LeMahieu just goes out there, rakes, and then goes home. 0 emotions. Just, he speaks with the bat. So Pablo Lopez took the tough L because he faced a buzzsaw by the name of Mr. Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole was lights out, but also, again, he was smiling throughout the game. It's probably pretty fun to be that dominant in Yankee Stadium. He threw a 9-inning shutout with 10 punch-outs, and not only that, he allowed just 3 base runners the entire game. He has a .95 ERA with 32 strikeouts in his first 28 innings. By the way, for anyone who cares, Anthony Volpe has a .370 on base percentage and 4 stolen bases over his last 6 games. So yeah, he's getting better and better. Zach Gallen was facing off against his former team, the Marlins. If you don't remember, he was traded for Jazz Chisholm a few years ago, so I was locked into this game. He was masterful yet again facing off against Sandy Alcantara. We'll talk about him in a second because AZ's offense, they wanted some shine. They taxed Sandy for 5 runs in this game. Alek Thomas finally did something productive. That RBI single is huge for his confidence because he's hitting 195. Pavin Smith and Christian Walker, they grabbed the other runs until Corbin Carroll, he finished the job. He blasted off again. He's hitting 290 with 4 home runs and 6 stolen bases. He is one of 9 players over the last 23 years to have 4 home runs and 6 stolen bases in the first 16 games of a season. He is ultra talented. I mean, people are upset that I'm calling him a superstar, but those are superstar numbers right there. Maybe I should say superstar in the making. I don't know, but we can't forget about Zach Gallen. He basically went 7 shutout with 8 strikeouts, and the best part, he had no walks. He's so good at that. Arizona, they are 9-7. They're still holding on to first place in that division. The Phillies and the Reds, before I utter any words, I am Knocking on wood, my wood is made of desk. That home run from Bryson Stott gives him a 16-game hitting streak. His 27 hits lead all of Major League Baseball. That home run started a beatdown of the Cincinnati Reds. 7 Phillies hitters had an RBI in the very first inning. That doesn't happen often. Aaron Nola, he was better, but still not Aaron Nola in this one. Check this out, though. 8 of the 9 Phillies had multi-hit games. Castellanos was the only one to not have a multi-hit game, but he had an RBI, which means that every single hitter, 1 through 9 for the Phillies, had an RBI. JT Realmuto, that's his second home run. He has a crazy 1 walk to 17 strikeouts on the season. I expect his plate discipline to get better pretty soon. The guy who started it was the guy who finished it. Bryson Stott had 3 hits on the day. He is hitting .380. That is a statement game from the Phillies. The Rangers scored a lot. The Astros did not score a lot. So the defending champs were not the best team in Texas yesterday. It took a while, but the Rangers eventually started teeing off. I felt bad for Andrew Heaney because he tossed a gem, but he came out before he could get qualified for the W because the Rangers were just not scoring. He went 5 scoreless, 4 strikeouts, but again taken out before they could muster anything off of Framber Valdez. That was until the 6th inning when the wheels completely fell off for Houston. There was a bases loaded walk. There's an RBI single to Robbie Grossman, and that's a grand slam for Marcus Semien, his 2nd of the season. Don't let this guy get hot because he is one of the streakiest players in baseball. When Marcus Semien is hot, there's no getting that dude out. One more shout out for Marcus. He is earning his paychecks. He's only missed 1 game since joining the Rangers. Yodi Taveras brought home the 8th and 9th runs, and hopefully he can keep this up because he's been terrible to begin the season. After a mini breakout in 2022, the Rangers are 9-6, whereas the Astros are 7-9. The Orioles and the White Sox, I got a crazy stat for you guys before we start this one. Jorge Mateo is the only player since 2000 with 3 home runs and 7 stolen bases over the first 14 games of a season. No home run in this one, but he did actually tie Cedric Mullins. They both have 8 stolen bases, which is #1 in all of Major League Baseball. Mullins had a big day. He drove in his first of 4 RBIs on a 4th inning triple. Cedric has been a fantasy stud, 15 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. Dylan Cease, he had a costly wild pitch in the 6th. The game was tied at 4-4. He's allowed 9 runs in 22 innings, but only 5 of those runs have been earned runs. So Cease yet again got let down by his own team. Baltimore's offense, they came in clutch as they always do. That's kind of their calling card. They are never out of games. Mullins, he stole the lead back and he finished the barrage with his 4th RBI on a 9th inning single. So Baltimore as a team, they have an 807 OPS, which is really good, but their 5.27 ERA as a pitching staff, horrendous. That does it for today's recap. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We do this every single day. Remember to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek if you're going to any baseball games, concerts, anything like that. And click this little F right here to subscribe to my gaming channel because we post MLB The Show every day.